So with that, I'll turn it over to Marilorza. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, AG, and thank you everybody for being here today. I also want to begin by thanking Senator Reid. Thank you for bringing us together, Senator, and thank you to our entire delegation for being here and for supporting our community. I want to thank all of my colleagues in government. Thank you for all of the calls and all the outreach. Everyone wants to be part of the solution. In particular, I want to recognize Cedric and the Nonviolence Institute. Hands down, the most important partnership we have in all of law enforcement out in the community is and has been the Nonviolence Institute. As Congressman Cicilline mentioned, you all are on the prevention side and perhaps doing more to keep people alive and stopping crime than any other program out there. So thank you for your partnership and your leadership, Cedric, and I look forward to continue working together. Before I get started, I also want to acknowledge all of the families that have been hurt by gun violence over the past several days and beyond. These are lives that are torn apart and lives that are suffering as we speak. And it reminds us of the importance of this work, that on the other side of this, there are human beings, young men and women, kids, whose lives hang in the balance. Literally, based on the work that we do. As Senator Reid mentioned, there are just too many guns on the streets right now. What we saw last Thursday, that is not us. That is not us. This is something entirely new. As the police have made very clear to me, in the past perhaps you'd see a drive-by with one gun, maybe someone had a revolver, but 6 or 7 guns, all fully semi-automatic, releasing dozens and dozens of shots within a span of seconds, that's something entirely new. And it's something that's preventable. So I thank the entire delegation for being in support of common sense gun reform at the federal level. And I thank all of our partners in government for being in support of that here at the state level as well. If we can't get that to move forward this year, then perhaps there's never going to be another opportunity or the right opportunity to do it. So hopefully we can turn tragedy into some kind of progress for our community. But just as there are too many guns out there in the streets, there are too many young people who have lost hope and who believe that turning to guns and turning to violence is the best way to settle a dispute or to resolve a conflict. And as the Attorney General just mentioned, we truly have to ask ourselves, what's leading so many young people in our community to lose all hope in the future, to devalue their own lives and the lives of others, and turn to violence? Yes, we need to get guns off the streets. Yes, we need to get perpetrators of these awful and terrible crimes off the streets. But if we really want to solve and cure violence, it takes so much more than that. We have to ask ourselves, why are kids losing hope? And we have to acknowledge that our kids have been served, or not, by an education system that has been failing them for generations, by an economy that rewards the already rich. It's becoming increasingly difficult for families to just make it. It's like they're on a hamster wheel, running as fast as they can but still falling behind. A criminal justice system that's been overly punitive and has taken people, resources, family members from our communities. And we're living in a society where the anger just seems to be so high that it's infiltrated every part and every corner of our society. How do we address that? I spent the better part of these last 3 or 4 days on the phone, talking to families and talking to leaders in our communities, asking them, what do they need? from their perspective, how do we solve this? And there are definitely some themes that emerged. The need for mentors in our community. Every single person that I spoke with is ready to raise their hand and be part of the solution. How do we connect them? Connect them all with a mentorship program so that they can literally and figuratively put their arms around our kids and guide them in the right direction. Summer jobs and workforce training, another common theme. You know, we were all young. When I was young, I wanted those new sneakers. I wanted to have a nice little jacket, maybe a nice shirt. The reality is that many of our families just don't have the means. And it's economic pressures that's often pushing our young people to perhaps sell some drugs on the side, make 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks. And before you know it, when you see how easy it is, then they're deeper into the game and perhaps far beyond where they can easily turn around. And then the last common theme that came to me from so many of the conversations that I've had is the need for nonviolence training, de-escalation training. And not just for people that are already involved in these activities, but for everyone in our society. We've all seen it as we've been on the roads. The level of road rage is perhaps as high as it's ever been. We're all on edge. It seems like all of society is a tinderbox, just waiting to go off at any moment. And I think that we can all, every single one of us, benefit by nonviolence training and de-escalation training. So more than anything, I want to thank our entire community for stepping up and wanting to be part of the solution. And I want to thank our congressional delegation as they fought for us at the local community to have the flexibility of the American Rescue Plan dollars so that we can make these direct investments into our community. So I look forward to working with anyone who wants to be part of the solution to make sure we're providing hope and investing in the communities that have been underserved for many generations.